You know, I got a bit of problems with recording. I didn't put in like the right microphone, and I'm too lazy to get this shit started out like the third time. So I guess I would just continue from now on. It is right now winter. It's we met Simeon. Simeon is a failure. You know, he just goes to random jobs, does something. Actually, he just uses computer all the time. Well, let's just continue. You can't know for sure, since all people are different. Or are they? Sometimes someone's actions can be easily predicted, but if you try to look inside the soul, you can only see impenetrable darkness. Hundreds of... My god. It's just... the control, it skips too much. Wait. The bus was approaching downtown, and my thoughts were interrupted by bright city lights. Hundreds of billboards, thousands of cars, millions of people. I watch these lights snow, and somehow I get terribly sleepy. Well, okay, don't we all? Still, just for a moment, let me just turn this down a bit, turn this down a bit, turn this down a bit. Actually, the sound can be like that. Yeah, like that. My eyes closed just for a moment, and then... And you know, I'm quite sick, so I might have to go. Oh, look, animations. Cool. I'm actually playing this game for a second time. I didn't get that far, but however, it is still worth mentioning that I am playing this game for a second time. So I kinda know what's going to go, so yeah. And I've stocked up on some Soviet films and some Soviet things, you know. Just mind that I playing this game for a second time. Wow. Now that's Lena. Lena. Yeah, no, Russian pronunciation is much better. Okay? But I gotta say, Ulyana. Or Ulyana. Yeah, no. Alisa. Alisa. You know, it's kinda like that. Miku. Miku. Like, actually, their English pronunciation is much better. So yeah, somehow I did skip this. So, you know, there are girls. But it's not like Sakura Spirit. In Sakura Spirit, everything's suggestive and shit. There, it's just, you know, girls are girls. They live their own lives, they have their own personalities. Yeah, not... It's less sexually oriented. Okay, that came out okay. Okay, whatever. You got me. Bright daylight struck my eyes. At first, I didn't pay attention, as I wasn't fully awake yet. On their own, my legs carried me towards the door. Damn, looks like I fell asleep and missed my stop. There was no door. Wow. I looked around the bus and realized that it wasn't a good old worn out Lias, but instead the bus was an Icarus model, a new one. I froze in shock. How? What? Am I dead? Have I been kidnapped? No, I must be dead. I let myself down feverishly, slapped myself painfully in the face a few times, and banged my forehead on the back of one of the buses. Yep. Okay. Hands down, that's just what a real human would do if a real human were to find himself or herself in a bus with, well, really, this, you transform from one bus to another bus, into that. Yeah. It's clear. Either I'm still alive, or you can still feel pain when you're dead. Makes sense. But how could this happen? Maybe I slept for too long and I just at the bus depot. And then what? Did they put me onto another bus? I rushed out and took a look around. Green wherever I looked. Tall grass on the roadside, trees, flowers, summer. But how? Yeah, you know. It was winter just a moment ago. Mind that he's still in winter clothes. My head was aching unbearably. Oh man. Something's wrong with my pronunciation today, but I'm quite nervous, you know. As if I was going to explode. Slowly, I began to remember. What did you begin to remember? A long road running up into the distance. Forests, plains, fields, lakes, and forests again. Well, Russia's a big place if you didn't know, like, really big. Well, there's a lot of forests, there's a lot of fields, lakes, and forests again. I think I was sleeping. Yes, you were. But then how could I remember all of it? Yeah, that actually makes sense. And then, a gap. Some girl leaning over me. Okay. It softly whispered something. You didn't remember what, then a gap again. And then he woke up here. Okay. Who was that strange girl? Or was she just a dream? For some reason, thinking about her made me feel better and calmed me down a little. Felt warmth all over, coming from the inside. Could it be her who brought me here? Then I need to find her. And the best place to look for her is away from here. I rushed to the left and to the right, stopped hesitating over where to go. Finally, I ran into the direction from which the bus had probably came. Well, it's not very hard to tell from which direction the buses come, right? Yeah, just silence. Physical exercise does refresh one's mind, right? Thoughts become clearer, and it gets a little easier to evaluate the surrounding reality. That's totally right. Not in my case, however. Okay, I was sitting on the roadside, wheezing and trying to ease my sore throat. Yeah, I've got a sore throat too. By gulping a breath of hot air. I don't know, in Russia we never have hot air. In any case, the run did its job. The fear withdrew for a while. That's good. Maybe I really am just dreaming. Although recalling my self-harm on the bus, yeah, you know. Needing everything on everything, I didn't really reject it. I'm neither dreaming nor dead. Yeah, you are just there. And her road ran through the field and far into the distance. That exact same road from my dream. I must be very far away from home. And actually, didn't you say that you don't remember your dream? He says he dreamed. He says he sees his dream over and over again, but doesn't remember any of it. After that, it's the same road from my dream. Hey, you did show us only the Savyonok camp entrance. It's not the road. It's not just that it was winter yesterday and it's summer now. It's the whole environment. Yeah, I know. Right. Of course, summer usually gets like this. Green and hot, but everything is not entirely lifelike. Everything looks like it was taken from the paintings of Russian landscape artists of the 19th century. The grass was just too lush. The bushes are not like what bushes should be. They're so thick that you can't see anything through them, like treetops, honestly. And the trees themselves. The forest was quite far away, but the trees looked like if they had closed their ranks, and were just waiting for the order to advance out of the fields in flames. So I want to say the trees look like soldiers or something. Caught my breath and looked at the bus, which now was barely visible. That was a good one. Fear overtook me once again. Those power lines. There must be people here. Well, people tend to use electricity. But what does it mean? In fact, that means nothing at all. Couldn't they even have power lines even in hell? I ask myself that every time. Roasting sinners over hot coals? This is so last century. Must have reached the point of no return. After which you should either lose your mind completely or finally try to understand what is going on. And while I still have a choice, I should pick the second option. I slowly headed back to the bus. Actually, I'm waiting for the moment when he's actually going to enter the Semyonov camp. Of course it was scary, but I'm not likely to find an answer in the fields or the woods. This wretched bucket of bolts is the only kind of link that I have with the real world. God. Yes, look. I am Russian, so I know what this all means, right? At first, this means bus stop. Number 421. 420. 410, yes. Have I actually gotten bad with English? It means like kids running. Well, yeah, over the road. Actually, there's not many buses around. But only that bus comes. Number 410, right? Then there's Pioneers. Pioneer Girl, Pioneer Guy. Savionok, you'll be told it means outlet. And Pioneer Camp. Yeah. Savionok means outlet. The brick wall and its gates crowned with the Savionok signs. Stitches of pioneers standing on either side, and a road sign nearby showing the bus route number 420. My god, okay, forgive me, I just played some Stanley Parable. So, I got 427 stuck in my head. It's 410. The trip's taking a bit too long today. He's weird. Person might start acting inappropriately in extreme situations. Something like that is probably happening to me now. The place doesn't look abandoned at all. No rust on the gates. Not really, okay. No damage to the walls. True. Savionok. What could have a name like that? I just want to tell, like, isn't it obvious that there's like one statue, second statue, and there's clearly written like Pioneer Camp. It's a kids camp, since kids in the Soviet Union, USSR, were pioneers. Judging by the pioneer stages, it could be a kids summer camp. Yeah, wow, logic. Oh, it appears to be open. Kids camps open in summer. Wow, my god. Like, hands down, the worst thing that could happen is this. Them just trying to tell you something. Of course, the simplest explanation. Actually, it might have been like the translation just counting on you not understanding all this shit. Okay, of course, the simplest explanation, logically speaking, explains nothing at all. Yeah, it's camp. It looks like he's drinking beer. And she's just, I don't know, trying to catch something. Strange girl, the altered boss, Summer's a pioneer camp. Thousands of theories went through my mind instantly, from alien abduction, okay, to lethargic sleep, from hallucination to a time and space ship. One was worse than any other. There was really no way to pick a single one. Then it occurred to me, I can try to make a phone call. I took out my cell phone and dialed the first number from my contact list. If you have a contact list, you won't be pressing so many buttons. Okay. I'm, like, sorry, I'm just maybe ruining it all, but yeah. Instead of strength single bars, the screen was showing a thick cross. What did he expect? Alright, there may be no signal in such a remote place. Right? Now can be only looking. Buses don't drive themselves. Well, believe me, they do. It tends to be like that. I examined the bus from all in Soviet Russia, buses drive you. I examined the bus from all sides to make sure that it wasn't a hallucination. What bits of dirt at the bottom, suppressed here, there, probably. Faded paint, well, yeah, and worn out tires. No, this is definitely a very ordinary iCars. Very ordinary Russian bus, right? Yeah, exactly the kind of bus which takes you to places beyond your understanding when you carelessly fall asleep. I gave a nervous chuckle. It came out by itself, sporadically, because this wasn't the right place or time to laugh. Where on earth is that driver? I cautiously sat down on the curb beside the bus and started to wait. My patience didn't last long. You're a human! My anxiety seemed to have reached its peak, and I started to go slightly mad. Slightly mad. Such a situation, anyone would probably felt something similar. Like me. Aliens and parallel universes were gone from my imagination, living in the voided darkness. Well, it's quite terrific. Is this how everything will end? How my life will end? I wanted to do so much. There were so many things that I have no time for yet. It's overwhelmed by the idea. This was definitely them, but why? It's not fair. Surely I'm no worse than anyone else. You're sitting in front of a computer for like 2 years. What do you expect? God, why? You know, just maybe if you sit in front of a computer that much. Tears were burning my eyes unbearably. I curled up and started rolling in the grass. Why? What did I do? Why me? I should try some Russian comrade. But my cries were only heard by the speechless stages of pioneers and a bird on the tree, which immediately flapped its wings and took off crying out something in its own bird language, as if laughing at the idiot who dared to interrupt its after-dinner nap. I was left breathless from weeping and just lay quietly sobbing occasionally. Okay, that was enough from that fake acid. Actually, it's not fake, but it's just way too much. After a while, I managed to pull myself together. My mind cleared up a bit, as if terror and the fear of death gave me a little break. All in all, if someone wanted to kill you, what is all this for? It doesn't look like an experiment either. If this was just some crazy coincidence, and there's probably no threat, then. Anyway, for now it seems there's no danger. The panic was soon gone. Of course, the blood was still pounding in my temples. My hands were still shaking, but at least I could think clearly now. Right now, there is nothing I can really change anyway, so no matter how much I think or how mad I get, it would only make things worse. Until some actual facts appear, there is really no point in making guesses. In any case, I won't learn anything by lounging around here. This camp, if of course it's really a camp, if it's not clearly written out there that it's a pioneer camp, looked like the only place where people could be. Well, man, like, I decided to go there, and I hardly had reached the gates when a girl came out behind them, wearing a pioneer uniform. Yeah, just to make sure. This is a pioneer uniform. You know, there's this thing, I don't remember how it's called. It's drawn way too big, actually. and way too well thin, I guess. Yeah, you know, just add big boobs, just big breasts, because why not? Just you know, everybody a game lady would have to get big breasts, because why not? Just really. And the belt, yeah, yeah. Soviet Union, why not we give you belts, especially leather belts? Yeah, each pioneer should get their leather belt, of course. My logic didn't let me down this time. Then again, a pioneer uniform in the 21st century. And then again, a girl here was unable to take a step. Felt very much like running away. Running as far away as I could from this place, far away from the bus, gates, stations, and far away from this bloody... wait a second. From this bloody bird with its... yeah. Like bloody hell. Let's pretend we're British. Bloody hell. Just running, free like wind. Faster and faster, waving to the planets passing by. Winking at the galaxies. Running, becoming a pulsar ray. And turning into vestigal radiation, running to the face of unknown. Run nowhere where, as long as it's far away from this place. Meanwhile, the game came teleported closer and smiled. I could not tell but notice her beauty. Well, you know, it's not Sakura spirit. You want to see like really painted out faces and stuff, but there's still some charm, right? You know, like even though I was trembling with fear, human instincts work independent of consciousness, and while only 5% of the 5% of the brain is responsible for cognitive processes, and the remaining 95% are busy sustaining life, in particular ensuring stable functioning of the hormonal system. Oh, I know what you mean. I desperately wanted it looks like the translator was actually writing this one. I desperately wanted to get less complicated and stop thinking in formal quotes from an encyclopedia, but my thoughts appeared one by one being stupid out of place, and it is taken from an internal monologue of the hero of some junky soft-cover crime fiction book. Pretty Slavic face, long braids that looked like 2 armfuls of fresh hay. Armfuls of fresh hair. Hay. You know, in Russia, in villages in Russia, we use hay to lie on. Yeah. And blue eyes, you could drown. I just drown. No, I know I've met some like really pretty girls, I guess, and like really I just couldn't let go of them, you know, just grab a girl and then you just don't want to let go, and she doesn't really. Okay, that sounds weird, but we're just hugging for like 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours. So I really could drown in her eyes, but not like you just meet someone and at first sight you're just like, oh, I want to drown. No, you don't. Hi, you must have just arrived. Well, reply. Yeah. Alright, then welcome. She smiled broadly. Strange. If looked as I was just as if I just had just. It looked as if I had just a little girl in front of me. Bah, I shouldn't have returned here, the Woodson field seemed better. Yeah. Friend. Try to speak with her. she was a human or ran away or what. YouTube star. The blood was pumping unbearably in my head, tearing it apart from the inside. A little bit more and a poor pioneer girl would be splattered with the gruesome contents of my skull. Oh, so yeah, you know when you feel the blood coming. Like, yeah, just fucking go. Just. Oh my god. Okay, just don't mind my friend. What's so funny about that? Don't you see that, Slaviana? The girl looked me over. It sent shivers down my spine, and my knees started to tremble. Then nothing. Great then. Great, what's so great about that? Suddenly a thought crossed my mind. To hell with all it. Oh, forget that the buzz behind me, the fact that it was winter yesterday and summer today. I wanted to rip off my itchy sweater. Yeah, rip off my itchy sweater. Oh my god, what am I doing? Yeah, actually there is a patch that adds hentai, but I'm not gonna use it, right? Fap. Yep. Can you really fap at Slavia? I didn't think so. Everything is as it should be, always for the best. What do you happen to know? You should go to our camp leader, she'll tell you everything. Look, go straight ahead as a square. Remember, straight ahead, then turn left. To your left is gonna be here. Yeah, Yani Ochin speak English. She pointed at the gates, as if I knew what was behind them. Well, you could ask someone where Olga Dmitrievna Kevin is. Dmitrievna is a patronymic, deriving of a person's father's names. In this case, Dmitri. So if I have a dad that is called Andrew, so I'm Andreevich. They put my Russians after the person's first name as a sign of respect or formal address. So we have like really good stuff, good time distinguishing people. I got it? Of course I didn't. Well, I'm gonna go now. The girl waved her hand at me and disappeared through the gate. Mind that. It seemed as if to her I was something ordinary. Ordinary. All this show with a bus that travels while awake or asleep was troubling only to me, and while everything here is just the way it's supposed to be. Actually, I would have been, well, only a bit disappointed that there were, like, only one map. What are they doing a historical reenactment here? I hope I won't find Lenin standing atop of an armored car in this square. But even that would not surprise me right now. It's really bad with my nose. After standing alone for a while, I headed into the camp. Finally! A mere 50 meters. 50 meters. Wow, that's actually impressive. 50 meters. It's like a giant camp. Ahead, a small one-story house popped up on the left side. The sign near the door said clubs. I was about to come closer, when the door suddenly opened and a short girl wearing a pioneer uniform came out. Привет, Lena! Her pretty face gave me the impression of one suffering the fate of all mankind with a truly universal sorrow. As soon as she saw me, the girl froze as if frightened. Well, that's a very shy girl. I froze too, considering what was to do best, approach her or wait until she showed some initiative. Maybe run away after all. Although the last option was constantly being suggested only by my self-preservation instinct. At least what I would like to believe. Not the worst human instinct, but far from the most logical. It's the most logical. If this instinct played poker without deductive abilities, the outcome would be predetermined. And those deductive abilities, or at least their semblance, were hinting to me that there was no need to be afraid of this girl. Well, really, would you be afraid of someone like that? Really? Then somebody jumped out of nearby bushes. Girl wearing a bright t-shirt with USSR written on it. Such a perfect reproduction of the age. She looked quite short from a distance and probably younger than both pioneering girls. The one at the gate and the girl at the door of the club. At last I decided to come closer, but the USSR, as they called her in my mind, jumped towards the first girl and started telling her something while wildly waving her arm. This is exactly how you wave your arms. I'm way... That's hard. The other girl, in turn, seemed confused and lowered her gaze, remaining silent. I would have probably continued to observe their amusing dialogue, but USSR suddenly pulled out something out of her pocket and started waving it in front of the first girl's face. No, that something turned out to be a grasshopper. Such a perfect reproduction of an anime face. First girl squealed. She must have been not too keen on insects, as she instantly rushed off to the place where Lennon presumably made her to speak. That's actually a very short shirt, by the way. As if it got a speech about the workers and peasants' revolution. It's not actually workers and peasants, it's workers and villagers. It's, what's this called? Like, Рабочие крестьяне. Workers and villagers. The USSR glanced at me, grinned playfully, and dashed after her. Not a bad start to the day. I have absolutely no clue where I am. Besides that, there are some kids who have role playing as pioneers. And as far as I can tell, this place is located thousands of kilometers away from my home. It might even be a different reality. And this was indeed a reality. I mean, everything around me seemed so real that I was starting to think that in fact my previous life could have just been a dream. And what am I supposed to do now? Yeah, I was picking at the cracked paving stones with my shoe and staring aimlessly at the club's building. Just a few more seconds before I have to come up with some decision. That's when I recalled myself falling on the grass, weeping. I cringed in disgust. Perhaps it's another instinct, when all energy from whimpering and self-pitying is used up. The body either goes into hibernation or mobilizes its reserves. Mine seemed to have chosen the second option because out of the blue I found the determination to figure out what was going on. And in order to do that, I had to act like a man, not like a human, to maintain the dignity of a representative of my own world. Well, the path to the left and the right side of which stood small cabins, apparently the homes of local pioneers. Actually, they looked quite cozy from the outside. Even though I was born in the Soviet Union, I have never been part of its children's organization, neither the pioneers nor even the younger or older children. Imagine the daily life at a typical pioneer camp, a bit differently. Huge barracks with long rows of metal bunks, wake up call at 6 o'clock played by a siren, 1 minute to make your bed, then joining the formation in the drill square. Or wait, could I be confusing it with something else? Suddenly something struck me on my back. I staggered but remaining on my feet, turned around and prepared to fight heroically for my life. Wait. Because why not? It would make zero sense for him to join me in Skype, but why not? Let's just have him spamming everything. Okay, whatever. Minus. But all I found was another girl standing before me. My mouth hung open in surprise. Pick your jaw up off the ground. Actually, not like that. Pick your jaw up off the ground. As you can tell, she's quite suggestive, okay? I closed my mouth. The same pioneer uniform, but the way she was wearing it looked, let's say, provocative. Yeah. Like all the girls I have met here before, this one was rather cute, but her overly arrogant expression killed any desire to get to know her better. You here, are you? Fine. See ya. She threw a threatening glance at me and walked past. I waited for the pioneer girl to turn into the corner. Who knows what else she might have been up to. Most interesting thing was even that this hostile girl seemed completely normal to me. She did not give off the feeling of some deadly danger. Maybe except the danger of getting punched in the nose. At last I managed to make it to the square. Okay, let's end this here so I won't have that long time of a time uploading this to YouTube. I want to say thanks for everyone who watched me. Thanks to my friend Dmitry for making this a bit funnier. And I'll see you in the next one, I hope so. See ya.